Well, man,
we're back.
It's good to have you back, specifically. Peace. Welcome back to the Body and Philosophy Podcast. Excuse my ignorantly deep cutoff for this week's episode. This came from the gym, some meetings. I'm in this and some jeans, so I don't know what kind of look that is.
It works, though.
There's worse looks, for sure. Dillon Martinez is back, a good, close, personal friend. You just got back from vacation.
I did.
So here's a big thing. I feel guilty whenever I go on vacation, just because like a lack of production for 2 or 3 days in a row is like you're squandering your opportunity in life. You know what I mean? But I haven't experienced it. Talk to me about the difference though when you earn your vacation. And talk to me about how did you earn that?
Right.
Why is this different than a regular vacation?
Right. So my wife Brooke and I are involved in a company called Advocare. It's a direct sales company that is a health, nutrition, supplement company. And we earned this trip. We were the top 300 distributors in the entire company. So what that means
It's unbelievable, first and foremost. Side note, keep it.
So the criteria for this trip was we had to have $27,500 in new volume.
Yeah.
New volume means people who have never been involved with Advocare before ordering through us.
Right.
So it's us getting out there, talking to new people, trying to impact their lives in a positive way. A lot of people see direct sales as either one, a pyramid scheme.
Right.
Because there's a lot of sketchy direct sales companies out there.
Yeah.
Or two, they just think that whoever is involved in such a thing is just trying to make money.
Just
off
grimy.
of it.
Yeah.
Right.
Like there's no way you can have some kind of positive agenda.
Right.
Trying to push your
Right.
products and go to Disneyland.
Exactly.
Yeah, right.
So what sets us in Advocare apart is, I would say, our guiding principles.
Right.
So our first guiding principle is honor God through faith, family, and friends. That was the first thing our founder said when he created this company was, I want people involved with this to have their priorities straight.
Right.
So I always fall back on that, and then I will fall back on the science and the doctors involved in the formulation of the products. One of them is Dr. Stanley Dudrick, who actually invented intravenous feeding back in the day. So if you know anybody who has ever had an IV,
Yeah.
this man invented
That's
that.
what intravenous feeding is.
Yes.
Okay. I was thinking something like entirely different, but
Yeah.
that's profound. He invented that?
Yeah.
Okay.
And
That's-
he's actually on our board, our scientific and medical advisory board, so he actually helps formulate the products that we put into our bodies. So,
Smart guy.
smart guy. And he's,
Deciding what's going into these products.
yeah. Another one is Dr. Bill Kramer. So I know that there's a lot of exercise science people watching this. If you look at any of your textbooks, his name will be there. He founded one of the big exercise science foundations in the United States.
Yeah.
He is currently at Ohio State University. Him and my dad know each other. They both worked at UWL for a time.
Oh, that's tough.
But anyway, Disney.
Yeah.
So
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, because it's like, first of all, with the business piece, I totally understand. I don't know what you call them, the principles, the values, whatever specifically, what'd you call them?
the guiding principles.
The guiding principles, yeah. So I firmly believe in having core values in anything you do, like even if you create a brand.
Yeah.
Because people are going to push you one way or the other. If you get a little bit of traction, a little bit of success, you know, someone can come in and offer this check and be like, here, switch up this whole format. Like somebody like in a couple years could come over and be like, hey, here's this big old check read. I'm just going to need you to change the name of the podcast and do funny voiceovers.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like different things like that.
Yeah.
Where it's like, if you have these values set in place, that's going to guide you and it's going to take you wherever you're supposed to go based on the values, like that strong framework. But if that framework isn't there and you're just going for, you know, because you want to get as far as possible, along the way someone can offer a check and you can bail out.
Exactly.
So if you bail out for that check, whether it be $50,000, $100,000, that amount of money, first of all, financially might not be anywhere near where you could go if you just did it your own way. First of all. Second of all, there's that sense of fulfillment that's not there if you just kind of literally sell out.
Yeah.
So I love what you guys are doing with having those values in play. And I know we honestly haven't talked a ton about what you guys do with Advocare. But it's just like, That's what's so cool, though. It's because I spend so much time around them. They do not force that upon me, because there is people with those what'd you call these types of businesses?
Direct sales.
Direct sales, where like, they'll be in my messages like, hey man, we just got to link arms and let's do this thing. I'm like, bro, I said I didn't want to do this like 9 times. And we spend like, I see you every day, and I know so little because it's like, you're not force feeding that stuff. Just because you're so like, all right, this is us, this is what we're doing for our family. So I respect that 100%. Yeah. Talk to me, because like I said, I feel legitimately guilty. Guys, comment if you feel a similar way, like when you're on vacation. Like I remember, like I just went on spring break. Yeah. And after like a couple days at like tons of fun, but after like 2-3 days, I was like, dude, I am breaking my spirit right now, like on so many levels. So kind of talk to me about that aspect.
One of the great things is, because there were 250 other families that worked really hard to earn this, that were also there with us, it was a chance for us to kind of pick their brains and their expertise and learn what they're doing and what works for them when they're trying to help people. Also, Advocare for us is residual income. It's passive income, meaning when we sleep, we're also making money. So when we're on vacation, the same is true. We're also making money. So we don't have to go to work to punch a clock in order to earn income.
Yeah.
So one of the ways we earned this trip was helping others do the same, and also helping others achieve their weight loss goals, their body mass goals, just overall lifestyle changes. And we were just able to help enough people that Advocare as a business and as a company said, we recognize what you're doing. We really appreciate it. Yeah. Let's fly you out to Disney for 5 days, give you $300 while you're here to spend on whatever you'd like, and fly you back home.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Right, because it's like you're reinforcing the company's values by virtue of expanding the company, because that's how much they believe in what they're doing as a company.
Exactly.
I that's always been a big thing too, is like pushing products. Even like in things like this, like as little following as I have doing what I'm doing, there's plenty of different companies and different like supplement companies, and people always trying to like, let's cross platforms and like stuff like that. And it's like, that's cool, but I would feel totally uncomfortable pushing something or advocating for something, for that matter, if I don't like completely believe in the company's values and what's going to come out of the product or whatever sort of situation that person's pushing forward. So yeah, man, that's really cool. It's good to have you back.
Yeah. You know, I don't know how glad I am to be back. But
we're
back. And we're making the best of it.
Regardless, you're here. I want to talk about this. And this is something I was actually going to text you a while back, and I was like, forget it, I'll wait till I see you. Then I saw you, and I'm like trying to be in the podcast. Let's save it for the podcast. Okay, so
what's up? This
kind of goes back to that internal guilt. Eric Mullen on the horn. Mullen, I'm doing the podcast right now, man. Let me give you a call back. All right, see ya. Nice guy. President in the year 2035. Eric Mullen, remember that. For the Democratic Party. Anywho, okay, so it goes back to that guilt. So that's one of my biggest characteristics as a human being is empathy. Even when I'm in the right, by any standard, I still can understand other people's point of view so deeply that I kind of internalize guilt just because I understand the way they're looking at it, even if it's rationally flawed. And then I feel guilt because how they feel. So I'm so empathetic to a fault. Right? And in situations like this one I'm about to explain, like going on vacation and feeling guilty. Like I'm like, that's not really empathy, but that's that same guilt. Like, I'm not capitalizing on my opportunity. So I go through a daily process, and I've talked about this plenty of times, and this is nothing new to you. I have my long-term goals, long-range goals, whether that be 10 years, 20, 30, 40 years, a year. Long-term for me is like a year and above. So I put all these things on a piece of paper, put them to my wall. First step of law of attraction, making that a tangible thing, physically bringing it out of my head into the tangible universe, holding me accountable every night before I go to sleep, every morning when I wake up. No matter how broken I feel, anything I'm going through, I can always refer to that wall and be like, boom, read, get your sorry behind up. This is bigger than you, keeping that driving force and that purpose of mind constant on the wall. But how do I make this? How do I take tangible steps towards that? Every single day is a new game or a new fight. And I'll talk about the dog fight mentality later on throughout the podcast. But every day is a new fight. On my whiteboard, yeah, gotta duck and dodge. Definitely take a few blows in the chin.
For sure.
For sure. No, but I'll go on my whiteboard the night before, or right before I go to sleep, and I'll write down bullet points, like typically like 10 to 12 bullet points of things I'm gonna get done the next day. If I get 70% of those things, that's considered a win. And that win, based on just the criteria that I'm writing down, is a step towards those things on that wall. So it's not just misguided steps, just walking in circles. Every single day I have this intentional and deliberate list of things that I need to get done, a certain percentage, and then I create that winning culture, and then eventually these things are going to come to fruition that are on my wall.
Right.
Here's the issue. I've been doing this for a very long time, and it's done great things in my life with my body, spirituality, overall health, wellness, my business, everything that I'm trying to attract in my life. It works. Like the law of attraction is just that, a universal law. So when you plan this stuff out, it works. But I got to a point now where if I get 7 out of 10, or 6 out of 10, or even sometimes 8 out of 10, or anything less than 100% throughout the day, because the day just throws you different jabs, things that you can't react to sometimes. And some priorities get put on the back burner. I will feel, lately specifically, really guilty. I'm like, you're not doing everything you can possibly do. You could have taken that 15 minutes that you did this. You could have cut that person off on the phone to get this done. You could have, shoulda, woulda, coulda mentality. And I was sitting there at the end of the day, like, kind of internalizing a little bit of like, you failed. You know what I mean? So I'm sorry for the extremely long monologue, but kind of talk to me. Where do you think that comes from? How can you fight that? Have you experienced anything similar? Just your initial thoughts.
I feel like no matter what you do in life, there's always a better way you could have done it.
Right.
And hindsight is 20/20, as they say.
Always, man. My hindsight is it's on point. I can see clearly. The rain is gone. Clear. Gone.
So
my hindsight is perfect, bro. It's a telescope.
So I would say, don't hold yourself to a super high standard.
Right.
So high that you'll never achieve it. But you got to be okay with that when you don't achieve it, because you know that was your standard in the first place. So, kind of like I was telling you before, I'm starting this new book called The One Thing, and it's all about laser focus on one thing, and that one thing that you could do today, and then that one thing you do tomorrow that compiles on each other. So this was interesting. I didn't tell you this. There's this study about dominoes, about the domino effect. Obviously, you push one domino, it hit another one, a whole bunch of things happen.
A couple of them down.
Okay, but there's another part of it that a lot of people don't know about. If you take one domino, it can knock over a domino that is 50% bigger than the original one.
Wow.
So, if you start with a domino that is 2 inches tall, by the 5th one, it'll be as tall as Peyton Manning. By the 31st one, it'll be 3,000 feet taller than Mount Everest. By the 51st one, it'll be to the moon. So what are you doing every day to rack up the size of your domino? Do that one thing every day, without fail. Don't criticize yourself for the things you didn't do, unless, of course, it is that one thing.
Right.
Other than that,
So that seems so. Let's pause right there. Let's dive into that. So this book you're reading is all about doing that one thing and getting that done. Just in my day-to-day affairs, it's like that's not really tangible. There's numerous things that I need to get done. There's things I need to get done for work in my journalism job, things I need to get done for school, things I need to get done for Body and Philosophy, the speaking brand, whether that be posting a video or trying to get a speaking engagement, that I need to work out and supplement correctly. There's a wide variety of goals.
I was thinking about this too.
It's not one thing.
Yeah, I was thinking about that too. It can't be. So I was wondering, could it be one thing for each facet of your life? So I think that is how we can apply it to us as college students and as entrepreneurs and as friends and as husbands and as people who you're trying to better ourselves at.
Yeah.
Because of who we are, we have so many interests
Right.
that we can't possibly focus on one thing. But we could focus on one thing in each of those facets every day.
So identifying the facets.
Yeah. And then categorizing them. And then focusing on how to better those each facet.
This is exactly what I was looking for. So how many facets do you have? Top of your mind.
Too many. Too many. And that's
You're a
probably
husband.
the problem.
You're a husband,
Mm-hmm.
a son, a friend to X amount of like close friends that you have,
Mm-hmm.
your business, your health, school,
And then hobbies.
hobbies. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So then you got to prioritize those.
Like a hierarchy.
Mm-hmm. And then the one thing on the highest level needs to be done first, and so on and so forth.
I need to take notes. Okay. All right. So
So
arrange facets.
arrange facets hierarchically. How do you say that? In order of importance.
Yeah. There's a lot
Order of
letters.
importance.
Okay. Arrange facets. Decide how many of those there are. By arrange, it's decide how many there are. Label them. Decide what fits within them. Label etc. Then put them in that hierarchy.
Order them, yeah.
So then after that, each day, accomplish one thing within them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like for sure accomplish one thing.
Yeah.
And if there's like stuff left over in the cup of your energy,
Keep going.
go to the top of the hierarchy and do that second thing.
Yeah.
Dude, this is,
I think that could be something.
let's write a book.
mess
Let's
around,
make a
write a book.
podcast, bro.
Dude.
Let's do that, bro. Geniuses. Okay, hierarchy. What the hell were we just talking about? Hierarchy, and then get one thing done in each facet.
Category, yeah.
Category.
Even if it's like texting your friend that day.
Yep.
Or
mom.
texting your mom, be like,
Yep.
Mom, I love you. Mom, I love you.
Each category, and then the fourth piece, if there's energy left over in the cup, start at the top of the hierarchy and pour in there and let it trickle down. Start at top with extra energy. All right, just to, what do we want to name this? This matrix.
This matrix,
Yeah.
I don't know, dude.
Focus, daily focus for now.
Daily focus.
For lack of a better term, daily focus.
Daily focus matrix.
Yeah, let's do that.
I bet.
Yeah, the board matrix is like, I really want to use that.
Yeah, me too. When
really
you
wanna-
said it, I was like, that's going to the title.
Nice. Daily focus matrix. Okay, we're gonna go over this one more time.
A lot
DFM.
of very successful people just call it their daily method of operation.
Yeah,
But I've never read anything like this before.
I'm saying this is kind of specific, so
Yeah.
we're gonna go over one more time.
Okay, hit
Just
him with it.
Not only to help other people, but to help us. Cause
Yes.
I don't even think we understand what's going on. All right. So each day, take just read, for example, because I brought this whole thing up. I have X amount of things that I want to get done in order to take a step towards fulfillment and get my long-term goals done. Sometimes I feel guilty because I leave a few of those things out. So we've created this daily focus matrix, DFM for sure. So start off by arranging the categories or facets in which you have commitments in your life. Figure out what they are, label them, like my marriage, my relationship with my family, relationship with my friends, fitness, work, business, things like that. So figure out everything in your life and put them into these categories, label those categories. Step 2, it's a 4-step system. Step 2, put these things in a hierarchy of importance. Step 3, get one thing done in each category. And step 4, with the extra energy left over and extra time, pour in from the top, because that's the top of the hierarchy and the most important, and then let it trickle down to the rest.
And see what happens.
And then see what happens, man. This is awesome.
I like this.
Would not have even got close to thinking of this alone. That's the importance. Let's quickly talk about that, man. The importance of
Other people.
of other human beings. Like Jordan couldn't have won a championship without Scotty. LeBron didn't win a championship until he joined up with Wade and them. Kevin Garnett, Ray Allen, Paul Pierce, they never won a championship until they joined forces. It's like everywhere you see in sports and in business, like Eric Thomas always talks about, he was doing speaking for 20 plus years, And he didn't blow up until he got up with
Exactly.
his business partner CJ and this guy named Carl that does all the video editing and things like that. Made a team, and once they had that team, he's the #1 motivational speaker in the world.
And the second chapter in the book, The One Thing, said it's all about the one person that's going to help you get to where you need to go.
So the importance of relationships in general, who you're starting those relationships with.
Yeah.
That's deep. Tell you what else is deep. Got a question for you. I heard this. Light Watkins, a meditation teacher,
Okay.
said this. Forgive me if this is misquoted, but this is like the general concept of what he was saying. Every bit of war and human violence began from a man's inability to sit quietly in a room alone. I'll repeat that. Every bit of war and human violence began from a man's inability to sit quietly in a room alone.
Interesting.
He's really big on meditation.
So is he saying that the cause of war is the lack of meditation and being okay with oneself?
Yes,
Interesting.
essentially, to extrapolate, yeah.
Well, okay, let's take this down to war is a very big. Let's take it down small. So let's talk about interpersonal relationships and how, let's look at marriages. I feel like a lot of marriages fall apart because one person isn't fulfilled in themselves.
You're right.
We talked about this on the last podcast I was on.
Yeah.
So I agree with him there. Bullying. A lot of time bullies are not okay with them.
Yeah.
They need to be right with them, but they're not, so they take it on other people.
Right.
That makes sense. Move it up. What's after bullying? Like murder, violence,
School shootings,
school
drive-by
shootings.
shooting.
Yeah. Look at gang violence.
Yeah,
I mean, I think he's on something with that.
for sure. And then you can keep going just up and up and up.
But I also think a lot of
Proverbial ladder.
I also think a lot of the problems with violence and bullying and war and killing these days is just the lack of respect for human life in general.
Right. But where does that come from?
That's a great question. I think it's coming from a valueless society.
How did that get created?
I mean, trace it back to the Garden of Eden, man.
Right. There's pure evil. There's a positive force in this universe and the evil energy force in this universe. And I see that kind of manifest all the time. And you wonder why, specifically in pop culture, why violence, exploiting women, sex, just earthly pleasures of things that are pushed by these record labels and things that are consumed on the highest level by the people. If you really just sell out and get like weird tattoos everywhere and, just talk about all this violence and these earthly pleasures, just sex, drugs, and violence.
Nothing good comes of that, dude.
But that's what sells. And you wonder why that sells. And this is kind of conspiracy,
Yeah.
but that selling is like that correlation to the evil that is like associated with these earthly pleasures.
And all those things are going towards filling that gap that they feel in themselves.
Right.
Which goes back to them not being able to sit in a room by
By
themselves.
themselves quietly. Because you need a Xanax, you need a bottle of something, you need sex, you need to feel, stimulate, because there's all that emptiness inside you. So it comes back down to not being able to sit quietly in a room by yourself.
Interesting.
It's very interesting, man. Because if you think about it, even Light Watkins made this point. You'll never see somebody, a happy suicide bomber, or a happy, somebody with a big smile on their face, happy and thrilled with life, shooting up a school or something like that. It's redundant. Right? Somebody also said you'll never see an organic vegan do a drive-by shooting. My buddy PJ Reed said that. I thought that was just like... anything else on that?
I just feel like as a society, we need to value parenting more. We need to build our kids up. And I feel like that's a big root of the problem right now.
Yeah.
It's just a lack of parental involvement in a good way.
Right. Because and this isn't, we're not talking specifically because I know a lot of people on the conservative side of things and a lot of the talking heads on Fox News talk about the reason for inner city violence and crime and things like that is because of like the lack of parental involvement. We're not talking about like strictly gang violence in urban neighborhoods. We're talking about
just in general.
all the constant drug use, which is done at an equal to or a higher percentage in these affluent suburbs. We're talking about these kids that are going into treatment facilities, the kids that are selling drugs and doing these drugs, like I said, at an equal or higher rate than these urban communities in these wealthy suburbs. We're talking about them. We're talking about everybody when these parents are just not doing the right things.
Yeah.
Whether you're too over-involved, whether you're under-involved, whether you're doing the wrong things in parenting. Like, we're talking about every single group of people, socioeconomic status, don't care what color you are, whatever. Because I agree with you on the parenting tip, but I don't think it's exclusive to one group of people.
I don't either. Not at all.
Seen some bad parenting across the board in my life, and I've seen some good parenting across the board, no matter how much money people have. So yeah, that's a good point.
Pretty bold for us to say as neither of us being parents.
Right. I swear we had the same conversation last time. It was about the same exact thing. But no, it's at the same time, it's easy to be like, these ignorant kids don't know anything about being parents. But at the same regard, yeah, that's why we don't have kids yet, is because we're still trying to build ourselves, fulfill ourselves, get in a financial position good enough.
To know then when we can have kids.
And then pull the trigger and be great parents, okay? So we're trying to do the right thing.
That's right.
Come at me with that stuff. Before we get into what would Landon Crossley do, shout out to Landy Crossley.
Oh man.
Good to see him this weekend, going home. And you get a stupid pump in, bro. Okay, let's go fat on Friday. Do you have anything else? Anything you want to add? Just in general. It's off the top of your head, something quick.
Nothing quick. So let's keep moving.
Whatever. Yeah, it's a good opportunity to segue into talking about Modest Wealth. We always talk about them. They've been rocking with us since the starting of this podcast, since the starting of that. I've even been putting videos out online. I've been friends with the CEO, Rex, and it's a beautiful company. It's just a bunch of guys and girls our age, mid to low 20s, millennials that are trained professionals to help you take your idea and turn it into a tangible business. They won't get close to charging you an arm and a leg. They'll work with you. He's talking about doing some nonprofit things and really trying to reach out in the community and help people, help kids. He's going to go into the high schools and help kids take those ideas and turn them into businesses. Because a lot of us in our demographic are going to be entrepreneurs.
Right.
So he recognizes that. And like these people have their degrees and masters and things like that. And I don't know exactly what, but they know how to build these
how
businesses.
Things work.
They know how these things work, right? So if you have any kind of business idea, go ahead, modestwealthco.com, reach out to them and try to, figure something out. Not only that, but they have a luxury clothing brand, and I think I have every piece of their clothing at this point. It's such high quality clothing for such a cheap price as well. And you talk about a company's values. If you buy something from them with Peter's 25, you can get 25% off. It's really cheap. We're talking dirt cheap at this point. If you buy something from them, like a crew neck sweater like a high quality crew neck sweater for like $25, you're contributing to this company that's trying to help people our age advance in this world and do away with that negative stereotype of lazy millennials.
Yeah.
If you buy something for no offense to I wear Ralph Lauren and Tommy Hilfiger, but you're contributing to just this this giant corporation with millions of dollars.
That's sweet. I need to give me some.
For sure, dude. We'll work something out.
Yeah.
No doubt. And also, Rado Supplements, I've been taking them now for a couple months. It's a really new company. Basically what it is pre-workout. They have raw ingredients for BCAAs and creatine and stuff, but it's a pre-workout that is made out of 100% raw ingredients. No additives, fillers, artificial flavorings, or anything like that. It's essentially quote-unquote organic pre-workout. It's just exactly what you need to get into the gym, get a good pump in. It has like 200 milligrams of caffeine, which is as much as like a medium cup of coffee. It's nothing crazy, but it gets you going, and it gets you a great workout. I'll put the link to the website up there. It's just rawdogsupplements.com. You can go on, check them out, guys. Seriously, it's like $1 a scoop, and you go buy a thing of C4, which has 30 scoops for like $45 or any other pre-workout, and then it has all those ridiculous things that fry your adrenal glands and just mess you up, man. So just be mindful about what you're putting in your body. And he has his own supplement company, and Advocare has all of their products are certified organic, and you're not putting crazy stuff into your body. So they have good pre-workout as well. I'm just happy that Rado Supplements is something cool, it's something local.
For sure.
By, another young man, 22, 23-year-old man is starting this thing. Made in a food-safe environment, it's legit. So check them out, guys. That's cool, we'll move along. That's a little longer than I want to go on the ads, but it's like, I really want to give them love. Because I believe in what they're doing. It's not just like, they threw me a check and a bunch of free stuff, so here.
Yeah.
It's not the case whatsoever. These
sure.
are people our age
Yeah.
doing ethical things. Yeah, so
Heck yeah.
something to think about. What would Landy Crossley do? Landy Crossley's not here. So we got Dillon. He's for sure not here.
Okay.
What would DM do?
Oh, no.
Dillon Martinez. All right, so you're on vacation. You're out there in Disney.
Having a great time.
Having a great time, man. Your Brooks on your shoulders. You just got like a
Kingdoms in the background.
cotton candy or something. Yeah, Brooke wouldn't eat cotton candy.
No, sure.
You just got her like a teddy bear or something like that. You wanted. You threw like a basket. You did something. You guys
macro-friendly snack.
It's right, exactly, a Luna bar. So you guys are having a great time. You see this man and his girl getting in a bad fight, face to face. Do you want me to do this? I almost cussed. We don't do that here. But interface, cussing her out, making a public scene, like really bad look on the street level. You can't imagine what they do behind closed doors. He's way bigger than her. He's in her face, like looking aggressive and all tensed up and like yelling, right? Like really, really, really violent without physical contact. You're walking by this, you're hearing it, you're seeing it. What does Dillon Martinez do?
Oh, dude. That's like one of the most uncomfortable positions I could be in.
Yes! That's what we want.
Oh, dude. I just at a foundational level hate conflict.
Me too.
Dude.
Me too.
Ask
Trust
Brooke. Like, we have never fought.
Right. Right.
No, I just want things to be good. But,
Yeah.
oh, dude, if I see that, I don't know. I don't know if I should say something in that situation because I don't want to get involved.
Yeah.
But also, like, I don't want to not do something. So, like, I feel like I would stay, like, in the general vicinity for a little bit, and then I might ring someone
Phone call.
who could actually knows how to deal with those situations.
Yeah.
But, like, if it starts, like, escalating and, like, getting violent, like, then, like, I got to do
You're
something.
laying my man out.
I don't know. I try to. I mean, I tackled some big boys in my day.
You know what I'm saying?
But
you blindside, there's
I might have to, but, like, I would get up and, like, be ready for anything.
just separate.
Yeah,
like,
I'd be like, hey, cool out a little bit. We're in Disney, first of all. How can you be this mad?
How can you be this mad when Mickey Mouse is over there handing out toys to kids?
We're in the most magical place on earth.
How in the world are you that mad in such a magical place?
I'm saying.
Jurassic Park is right over there,
I
man.
feel like that's probably how I would approach it now. I'd be like, dude, look around.
You
Why
need
are
a
you
hug?
so angry? Do you need some love?
Everything's like purple and stuff.
Yes.
How can you be this mad?
Yeah.
Oh.
Just use some words, man.
Yeah. Use your big boy words.
Communicate.
Good, Dylan. Good. Let's move on. All right. So, your buddy asked you to be a groomsman at his wedding.
Mm-hmm.
Another buddy asked you to be a groomsman at his wedding. Another buddy goes ahead and calls you, asks you to be a groomsman in his wedding. A whole nother buddy hits you up on Facebook, asks you to be like 6 of them in like a 6 months span. Now, these things get expensive.
Right.
What are you doing?
They're all on different dates?
Yeah.
Okay, so I could go to all of them.
Exactly, yes.
Okay. Okay, the first one, I'm going to say for sure. I'm going to get the suit and everything. The next ones, I'm going to say, what's your color scheme? Because I got a suit that I think would go great with whatever your idea of the color scheme is.
Meet me in the middle. I want to go.
I for sure want to be a part of your day.
Yeah, no doubt.
But I got 5 other dudes who want the same thing.
If you guys could just get in like a group chat and decide on one
Kind of
suit.
coordinate your colors.
Yeah.
For Brooke and I's wedding, we all the bridesmaids
Yeah.
could get any dress they want in like a specific color palette,
Yeah.
so that it could be usable like
For other days.
for other days of their life, other than our one day where we're being selfish.
You and Brooke are. Of course he did that. Perfect.
But
That's not the case with most people.
that is
I'm gonna be a groomsman. It's my absolute honor to be a groomsman in my good buddy Logan Whitehill's wedding. He's getting married. He's in the military. He used to go here a couple years back. He's I think before your time, but good buddy of mine. He went out from the military to figure some stuff out, and he's doing incredible.
good.
But yeah, so I'm groomsman his wedding coming up in June. Never been a groomsman before. I'm honored. This is a great guy. I'm excited. And it just I got to thinking though, where I'm like, when I'm it's gonna cost a few $100. I'm like, what if this just like kept happening? And what if it was with people that I wasn't as cool with, like,
Yeah,
because me and Logan are really cool, but like, what if it was people that I wasn't that cool
Hey, can you
with?
be a groomsman? Also, the suit is $250,
Yeah.
and you don't get to keep it.
You don't. You just wear it for a day. Yeah. That's what I'm going through. If you guys have any suggestions, let me know. That was perfect, Dylan. So your wife makes something, food-wise. Brooke Martinez likes to mess around in the kitchen. Avocado ice cream.
That's right.
Things like this. Like, she really likes to get creative. God bless her soul. And anything I've tasted has been me mad. It's just hypothetical, Brooke. I'm not exactly talking about you with this question. Your wife makes something. Honey, I worked so hard on this. Here you go. You don't like it.
Not even a little bit.
Not even like, really. How are you reacting? What's Dillon Martinez do? You're sitting at the dinner table. You both have a bowl in front of you. She just
This has happened. Because of how much Brooke likes to make creations, as she calls them.
Yeah, for sure, yeah.
She has had some absolutely incredible creations. She made this cacao powder frozen chocolate cup deal. It was absolutely, there was like some sort of nut in it. I think it was a walnut. Correct me if I'm wrong, babe.
Yeah.
But it was absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
And I would honestly say, like, the majority of the things that she makes, I'm like, this is good.
Yeah.
She makes some taco dip.
Tasted some salsa. There's some beans. What was it?
It was a black bean brownie.
Oh.
Remember that?
Yeah, that was fuego.
But then there are some times where it's not the best. And because of our relationship,
Yeah.
and she always like front loads it with like, if you don't like it, just be honest.
Oh, yeah. But
And I'm like-
women say stuff, not to call Brooke women, but
That's true.
women say stuff like that all the time. And as a man, you just, it's good, honey. Like, from my experience, you know.
But if it was something that
Probably
she
why
like,
I'm single. What were you saying? What were you saying?
I feel like you just let him down easy. You're like, you know what, Brooke, this was good. It wasn't my favorite.
Nice. Just stuff you made yesterday? That's my
Fantastic.
I believe you have potential. To do it again.
And then, yeah, don't just say you don't like it.
Yeah.
Offer ideas for improvement. And that goes for anything in life.
Right. Definitely. Don't just leave it at like, no, this is garbage.
This is terrible.
How can we improve it?
Yeah.
Like it. Last one. Taxi service. We're taking a taxi cab to, like, you just showed up in Colorado and you need to go to like
Estes Park.
wherever. The cab puts it up on their GPS, and they just keep taking wrong turn after wrong turn after wrong turn, and that bill is racking up. What's Dillon Martinez doing 40 minutes into this 25-minute ride?
I'm going to say, like, dude, you're robbing us right now, so I'm not going to pay you.
This is pretty much armed robbery.
This is robbery.
It's
We
armed
can't get out of
robbery.
the car.
Yeah, because if you get out, you die. It's armed robbery.
Yeah. We have no choice but to stay in this car with you, but you're deliberately trying to make us spend more money.
Yeah.
You're robbing us and not paying.
This is pretty confrontational. You're doing that?
I have to.
You're putting it down? Yeah, for sure.
You have
Especially
to.
if you're the wife, like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah. Because Brooke would probably notice first. She's like, I don't think this is right.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, no, we're good. He knows where he's going.
But then after like 20 minutes over, you're like,
And then I'm like,
all right.
and Brooke's like,
Yeah.
and I'm like, sir.
So you're robbing us. In front of his face.
I have the route pulled up on Google Maps. Like, dude,
I've been deliberately watching.
you're wrong for what you're doing.
Boxed. You're really wrong for this, dude. I would have tipped you
Yes.
if you needed that bad. Oh, cool. What would Landy Crossley do? Segment's over. I love it, man. I love it. Thank you guys again for sticking around. I absolutely adore the support. Hopefully, between our adolescent minds, we could have thrown one thing at the table that you can take and apply. If not, leave a comment and help us out because we can use it. Really quick, guys. I already posted a video about this earlier this week for the Body and Philosophy Takeaway of the Week. Life is a dog fight. And this is something that really, really, really hit home because I was thinking about evolution and just early humanoids when we were in the food chain. Life was literally a dog fight. We had to fight for our lives every day. Go to sleep late, get up early, hunt, have to kill something before it kills you, avoid death at all costs, constantly. Life is an all-out dog fight. Somehow have kids, raise this little infant and not have them die. You know what I mean? You're waking up, you're taking blows. Sometimes you get knocked out. Sometimes you can't fight another fight. People die all the time. Just because now that we've removed ourselves from the food chain doesn't mean that that universal law of that dog fight has subsided. All throughout nature, anywhere you look, it's a dog fight. Every single species is competitive every day, constantly. People are fighting and fighting and fighting. And humanity, just because we're outside, we're a little more civilized, we're outside of that food chain, it's still a dog fight. Because if you have your dreams, your aspirations, things that you list down, what you want to accomplish later on in life, my signs that are on the wall, I guarantee there's somebody out there with every single one of those signs close related to it on their goal and their agenda, right? What am I going to do to get better at fighting so that when I meet them toe to toe, I can make sure that I don't get knocked out? What kind of training can I do to make sure that I win that fight? How do I each day get better at fighting? How do I win that fight on a micro level every single day? How do I win that fight? Because you're going to get knocked out. We've been knocked out plenty of times. I've been knocked out for weeks. I've been in a comatose for weeks on end. But because I'm still alive, somebody said you survive 100% of your worst days. No matter what, when I was going through that awful time, I still got up after weeks. I was in a coma. But by virtue of me not being dead, I still have another fight on the agenda.
That's awesome.
On the ticket. There's still another fight coming up. So I can either choose to walk in there and get my sorry behind knocked out, or I can start hitting the heavy bag and get back up, put the fists up, and try to do my thing. Because it's competitive.
It is.
Life is a dog fight, man, in between you, me, and everybody else. We need to fight to get exactly what we want out of this life. It may not literally be survival. For some people, it is. For many people in this world, it is. But for many of us privileged to be watching this on this platform online, it's probably not to that extreme. But if you want to accomplish what you want to accomplish, if you're doing this thing for your mom, your sister, whatever it may be, you need to fight for that. And just because you get knocked out doesn't mean you can't come back and fight another fight.
To add to that,
Please do.
what happens when you win?
When you win the fight,
You win a fight. You win one of those dog fights.
Yeah.
Are you content?
oh man, I mean, look at the greatest of all time. The greatest of all time will win the belt. Muhammad Ali took the belt back, I think, when he was like 38 or something, and he went back and fought again. The winners absolutely don't know how to settle. Michael Jordan won 6 championships. My man did not. How do you not settle after 3 in a row? And he did. He went and played baseball and came back. He's like, yeah, no. Let me get 3 more in a row. Like, how are you not good after 4? How are you not good after 5? I'm not even a Michael Jordan fan like that. But when you have this certain level of greatness and this attitude of just that superiority, when you have that purpose and that driving force and you know exactly what you want to do with this world, you can't fall short of that. Because E.T. always talks about his why evolves. So at the starting, his why was whatever it may have been, like to get out of the streets, to make something of his life, to give his wife a good life, to give his kids a good life. And then once he's done that, he's still working on that, but then it turned into, now I need to pick up these kids in these low impoverished neighborhoods all throughout high school and pick them up and make sure they do good with their lives. You look at people like Mother Teresa or Gandhi. Their driving force turned into something so much bigger. It's like altruism. Like once you graduate of levels of success, you get to that point of like Nobel Peace Prize, like Martin Luther King style. Like I'm trying to make the world a better place, not just me and mine.
Right.
So I think your purpose, once you continue to grow,
to change.
yeah, it evolves, and if you keep improving and like going upwards and making that a reality, I think it keeps evolving into something greater and greater.
For sure.
So if you have this big lofty goal in your life to do good and you get it, I think by the time you get it, you'd have already developed 15 more that are way higher.
For sure.
Just based on what I hear from these successful people, I'm far from that. I'm trying to get to that level. You know?
Yeah. We'll get there.
I guess in a way I have, because when I came to college, it's like, all right, just graduate college, get a degree. And now it's like all these financial goals, these spiritual goals, these things I want to do with the businesses. So it's like it has.
Yeah.
And I haven't got my degree yet.
Right.
So just moving towards that goal that I made 4 years ago, it's turned into a million other ones. So I think just we progressively, as we go up, we make more and more and more. You have anything to say on that?
No, I agree completely.
It's good stuff, man. We don't do a ton of argument.
No. We're on the same page.
That's what this podcast is about. You know, we don't get on here and start arguing about a bunch of stuff. I'm good on the whole politics thing. Had Elijah on here to talk politics, and that's enough for this channel, for this page. All right, we got to go. We got a lot of stuff to get done. Anything else, man?
No, man, just live your life with a purpose. Find it, and then go for it with everything you got, man.
Identify and drive after. That's what we always talk about. No question, man. I appreciate you joining again. Who knows? We might have Dillon next week, too.
Hey, I'll be here. I'll be here.
Let's do it, baby.
I got
All
things
right,
to say.
everybody. Have an amazing week, guys.
God bless.